Whether tea and coffee early in the morning or first thing in the morning is good or not.
First thing in the morning, then this is going to happen. You're suddenly going to be, thankfully, our body is not that easily swayed or affected by what you're having first thing in the morning or whether it is tea or coffee. Is it okay to drink tea? Is it okay to drink coffee? If I'm trying to eat healthy, then do I have to stop having my tea and coffee, right? So it's perfectly fine to have tea or coffee. There is no challenge in that.
But then some people also say that they get acidity if they have it.
I have not found them stopping the namkeens or the biscuits and everything that they have with the tea or coffee.
So you mentioned about black coffee. How about bullet coffee?
Bullet coffee is a gimmick.
From cutting chai to cappuccinos, India has its own emotion with these hot beverages. So we're going to be talking about them today and whether they're actually good or whether they're actually not that good.
Okay.
So let's start off with the first question that everyone has is whether tea and coffee early in the morning or first thing in the morning is good or not.
Before that, people have this question of, is it okay to drink tea?
Yes.
Is it okay to drink coffee?
Yeah.
If I'm trying to eat healthy, then do I have to stop having my tea and coffee, right? So it's perfectly fine to have tea or coffee. There is no challenge in that. But the problem happens with the frequency, as in how often and how much of the tea or coffee are you having is the concern. First thing in the morning business is something that has been marketed as a gimmick by people who don't really understand anything about nutrition or how your body works.
Yeah?
Okay. Yeah. Because see, if I give you a rule that, okay, if you do this first thing in the morning, then this is going to happen. You're suddenly going to become like a convert or a believer because it's something different that you're doing, right? Similarly, it is very easy for me to scare people, or for those who tell you not to have tea or coffee first thing in the morning, to scare people saying that, oh, if because you're having tea or coffee, this is happening with you. Thankfully, and I'm saying this with a lot of thought, thankfully, our body is not that easily swayed or affected by what you're having first thing in the morning or whether it is tea or coffee. Okay.
Okay.
Which also means that whatever illnesses or ill health we see are always super complex and they are not caused by just one thing like having tea or coffee.
Okay. That's a relief.
Yeah, which is actually a big yeah for people who like tea or coffee, which means that you can have your tea or coffee, and even with that, you can continue to remain healthy or manage your health, eat healthy, and everything is also possible.
But then some people also say that they get acidity if they have it in the morning or in the evening. So what is that? What is the science behind it?
So the people who say that, oh, I have not stopped having tea because I get acidity in the morning or generally it gives me reflux, I have not found them stopping the namkeens or the biscuits and everything that they have with the tea or coffee later. So
Okay.
a lot of times it is the biscuits or the cookies or even the namkeen that is being consumed with tea, which is giving you the reflux rather than tea by itself. And of course, if you are getting acidity in the morning, then don't have the tea, eat a fruit instead, and you can have the tea maybe later. Okay. Another thing that happens, especially in this context of acidity, is that a lot of people are also lactose intolerant without knowing though that.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so now if you're lactose intolerant and you're having, say, a very super milky, thoroughly boiled through kind of a tea in the morning, then that's like a whole lot of milk that you're having first thing in the morning, and then it's bound to give you some gut disturbances or things like, a little discomfort, which often can also express as, say, some extra reflux or just a general feeling of there being a burning sensation in your throat or tummy ache. All of that can also happen with lactose intolerance. So, to tell you whether tea is going to cause acidity, it doesn't. But tea or coffee can aggravate an existing situation of reflux or of acidity. So, if you have acidity, then maybe don't have it first thing in the morning, eat something instead. But it doesn't cause reflux or acidity.
Okay.
That's for sure.
That's for sure. So talking about lactose intolerance, then can those people have tea or coffee without the milk, or say with lactose-free milk?
Yeah, yeah, of course, of course. So
That
if
is
you
fine.
if you like it, if you like black coffee, if you like black tea, if you like say just an English tea, like where you're adding just a touch of milk, so that's also possible, and you can always offer a lactose-free milk alternative as well, or you now have the very fancy, very cool plant milk alternatives as well. So
Yes.
that's another option.
Okay. Is there a good time to have tea or coffee in the day? Because I mean, people say don't have it in the night or don't have it, say, after 12 p.m., 4 p.m., whatever. So, what exactly is the truth?
Okay, so it's different for tea and coffee.
Okay.
So for tea, we always say that don't, in fact, also coffee, don't have it with any food. Okay, because that's to avoid impact on your iron absorption, because tea and coffee both contain inhibitors, iron inhibitors. So
Okay.
if you're going to have it, say for example, a Gujarati community has this habit of having methi thepla or bajra thepla or even the bajra pudi or stuff like that, matri with tea. Okay. And now these what is going to do is that if you're having it with the tea, the iron from the bajra thepla or from the methi or spinach pudi, whatever you're having, that won't be absorbed in your body as efficiently because of the inhibitors present in the tea or coffee.
Okay.
So, which is why you should not be having like any iron-rich food with tea or coffee.
Okay.
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 And coming to the whether there's a specific time for tea or coffee. So, for tea, we say that if you generally have a tendency or you tend to have a reflux in the morning, then avoid that first thing. Eat something first and then have it. A lot of times, people have this habit of having tea when they're actually hungry.
Okay.
Okay, so you will find most 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. tea drinkers, they actually are hungry. That's when they are having their tea. Okay, and then they complain of reflux or acidity. So again, if you're hungry, eat, don't drink tea. Okay, so that's the thing. When you're having too much of sweet tea, because most people are going to have tea with sugar. Okay, there's a very small number of people who avoid any sugar in the tea. Now, and if the frequency of the tea increases, then you're also increasing your sugar intake, added sugar intake. Okay, so that's the other concern with tea or coffee. But if you're someone who can limit it to say 2 small cups of tea per day, if you're not having it with any other food and you generally are healthy, you should be fine. When it comes to coffee, though, you need to remember that the half-life of coffee, remains till 12 hours in our system. So the half-life of caffeine is 12 hours. So which means that if I have consumed, say, a coffee at 8 o'clock, then I'm still going to have caffeine in my system till 8 p.m.
Oh.
Okay. So, which means that if I have coffee, say after 4 p.m., okay, I'm still going to have a pretty good concentration of caffeine in my system till after midnight.
Oh my God.
All right. And we know that caffeine is an ergogenic drink, which means that it gives a little boost to your metabolism, and it can, if on when consumed at a very high amount, caffeine can also increase your heart rate and give you palpitations and stuff. But for most purposes, like at most levels that people consume it at, it's not going to give you palpitations or such, but it will then impact your sleep. It will keep you more awake. So that's the other reason why people have tea or coffee, right? Like, okay, if it's 4 o'clock, I'm feeling a little sluggish, then let me have a pick me up in terms of a tea or coffee. So that is the concern with coffee.
But then I have also heard many people say that they feel that it does not affect their sleep even if they're having coffee in the night.
Yeah, a lot of people say that even if I have coffee at night, I will still fall asleep. So
Yes.
those people, they are able to sleep even despite that caffeine in their system. So again, the response is very subjective. It changes from person to person. It's not necessary that just because I am super sensitive to caffeine, you would also be that.
Now, addition of ginger, tulsi, or these other herbs in the tea, is that really beneficial? Because people say that it's good for cough and cold and all of these ailments.
So when you're having cough and cold, what does happen is that there's a certain phlegm in your system, in your throat, and having something warm, it helps you to, feel better and be able to breathe or, reduce the coughing or such. But other than that, not to such a great extent. It changes the flavor, yes, but if you truly want any benefits of the lemongrass or of your, say, ginger and mint and stuff, you might as well eat it instead and add it to your cooking. So that's fine. I mean, no big difference or no groundbreaking impact on your health.
My grandfather is diabetic, but he does keep adding honey to the tea, saying that it's good for the monsoon and winter and everything. So is that good?
You need to tell your grandfather that honey is sugar as well.
Yeah.
So, and plus if he's diabetic, he should not be having that. So, it doesn't really help. It
doesn't matter. Okay. Are there any particular medical conditions or situations where one should be avoiding this tea and coffee?
Tea, not so much, but caffeine is not recommended if you have hypothyroidism. So, it's best to avoid coffee if you have hypothyroidism. But on the other hand, if you have fatty liver, okay, that is where research has shown that drinking black coffee especially is actually beneficial. So, if you are not someone who is overtly sensitive to caffeine, generally likes the taste of black coffee, has been diagnosed with fatty liver, and obviously you also need to be managing your diet and your exercise and trying to drop some body fat, but along with that you could start taking black coffee to help your efforts of trying to manage the fatty liver.
Oh, okay, that's nice. So you mentioned about black coffee. How about bullet coffee?
Bullet coffee is a gimmick. It's just something that people have concocted, like all the various fads that keep coming in this world of internet and Instagram. Bullet coffee is a similar thing. If you like the taste of it, be my guest. If you ask me, there is no specific special benefit of having bullet coffee. I mean, what can be the benefit of having loads of butter or ghee with your coffee first thing in the morning, other than probably having a super easy greasy poop?
So it doesn't help in weight loss?
No.
Another last question. How many cups of coffee or tea is too much in a day?
Too much? Okay, I'll tell you what is okay. All right. So 2 cups of coffee or tea in a day is fine. Reasonably safe for pretty much everyone. Of course, if you have diabetes or if you're watching the extra calories and everything, you should not add any sugar to it. And if you're lactose intolerant, then don't add the milk to it. But other than that, up to 2 cups is pretty fine, no challenges. What you need to be careful of is when you are having the coffee specifically. If you are also trying to sleep better or you find yourself staying up pretty late in the night, not being able to sleep, then I would recommend that you have your cup of coffee before 3 p.m. and not after.
If you have any more questions or if you have any other more topics for us, please state in the comments.
If you share this video with your friends, then we will know that you are a true chai or a coffee lover. Don't forget to subscribe as well and let us know what next would you like to see on this channel. See you soon.